Hello there. Welcome to my studio. I'm Amanda. If you have never been here before, I'm an artist. I love to teach. I like to share sort of the things that help me to create, and I thought I would do something a little bit different with this video. I don't know if it's going to continue to be a thing or not, but I thought it would be fun to just give you a little bit of like a wrap up, or it's not really a wrap up. I'm not sure what I would call it, but there's some things that have been happening in my head, also in my paid membership group, painting group. We started out a new year and we're doing some different things in there, and I just thought it would be a good time to try something new here on my channel also. So what we've been doing in my membership, which I'll leave a link below in the description if you want to join us over there. You don't have to, but I'm just letting you know that it is available. We have a theme of the month starting in 2026. So this is January of 2026 while I'm creating this video. Our theme is soft beginnings, and I'm also pulling in like a mood. So instead of me just furiously painting random things chaotically that just seem like a good idea, I thought it would be really good to slow down, to be more intentional, to think before I create, and it would be good to share that with my students and also just with you all who are along for the ride with me here on my channel. So when it comes to things like making decisions in your painting process, or just creativity in general, sometimes for me, I have gone a little too fast, a little sloppy, when I finish a painting, sometimes I feel like I could have done better if I would have just allowed myself some extra time. And what I've noticed is, especially this month, with this theme of soft beginnings, with this mood of quiet, gentle stillness, which I think we all really need right now anyway, it has helped me to create better artwork. So for the tutorials that we did in the membership in January, we started out, well, let me just show you. This is my desk over here. We started out with a girl painting, but I gotta find it. I didn't really prepare for this very well. Okay, here she is. So this was our first painting for this month, and with the theme of stillness, soft quietness. This girl, she's like contemplating in a field of flowers, and this was meant for a tutorial, of course, but this really led me to create more paintings of girls, and one painting kind of led into the next one and into the next one. And if you've been following me on social media, I've been posting some short videos sharing these paintings, but I'm going to show you what I mean when I say that painting led into some more paintings. Also, let me show you this. We also learned how to create softness. So this was another tutorial in January, and we created some pretty orchids. So those were our main tutorials, but hang on just a minute and let me show you this. I'm gonna turn. Okay, so after I taught my members this tutorial, then I started thinking about how I could use just this idea of a girl, like from this angle. I like to paint hair. I don't know why, but it's fun. And so I came up with this. I really like stripes also. So I added the stripes, and then I added the flowers. And then this was my first idea that came from our initial one. And then I ended up painting this one. So this one took a really long time. And this is something that I think a lot of us probably don't see behind the scenes when you're watching a reel or something like that when another artist is painting. I started on this on a Sunday afternoon, and I painted for like 2 hours, and then I stopped. And then I went to back to church, and I came back after, and I worked on it a little bit more. And then the next day, I came back in the studio, and I worked on it even more. And that next day, I furiously, fast, crazy work painted this one. But this one was like the foundation of that one, which they don't look anything alike as far as color or anything like that. But the turn of the face, the back, the flowers, all of that, this laid the groundwork for this one. And I really, really like this one a lot. And when I had the idea for this, it was not while I was painting. That is part of this slowness, the stillness, the quietness that I'm allowing myself to have in between paintings. So when I had the idea for the dark hair and putting in some really cool grays and blues in the hair, I was walking outside. I was not even painting. So this, of course, came from the one before. And then I did this one a few days later, and it's sort of the same vibe, but I thought, okay, how could I create it in a different way? Of course, the color scheme is different, but I added a book with flowers in the book instead of just flowers, just to see what would happen. And then a few days later, I created this one. But if you can tell, all of these kind of build on each other. So, and they got a little bit better every time I painted something. There's a lot of the others in this one, but this one is my favorite. And it wouldn't be here if I hadn't painted those other ones. So I just wanted to give you a little peek at the process of creating art the way that I have found it to be most productive, and that is slowly. I mean, you may paint quickly to get your marks down, to get your subject, your flowers and everything. I still am really loose with what I'm painting, and I really enjoy doing things quickly in that sense. But even this one, the last one that I did in this series, I painted it over a couple of days. And I didn't sit in here and paint for 5 hours. I would paint portions of it, leave, go eat something, go do some laundry, come back. I added this little ruffled collar and these buttons the next day. And I added this background and kind of reiterated it several times. So my point is, it may be that you need some soft, slow downtime that may not even be in your art studio to begin creating new ideas, different things, just to be creative again. I like to go on walks. Sometimes it happens when I'm lying in bed reading a book. I'll have an idea. Sometimes I may be washing dishes, or I'm trying to think, taking a shower. A lot of things happen in the shower when I'm creatively thinking. Let me turn this back around. And I just thought that this was kind of a part of the process of painting that most artists probably don't think to share with other people. I don't know, maybe they do, and I just have never seen it. But give yourself some soft space, creative downtime, and don't pressure yourself too much. If you start working on a painting and it goes badly, or if it's not going the way that you want it to, leave the easel, leave the studio, come back to it at another time, and I think it will help you a lot. If you're interested in painting this one with me, it's available in my membership, but also in the membership there are elements of all of these paintings. So if you are a creative community member, let's just take this one for example. The background on this was pretty much the same as our little ducks that we did. You see up there. Can you see him? The duck with the hat on up there. His background that we did in a tutorial is basically the same as this. I teach how to paint hair in a tutorial that is just one individual lesson in the membership. You can just you can search in the membership. There's a search bar, and you can search for painting hair, and it will help you to paint hair. We've got several girl paintings, not these specific ones because these are brand new. We do have this specific one, but all of these other ones you could piece together and create your own version using tutorials in the membership. Also, these paintings are available if you're interested in purchasing any of them. You can just leave me a comment below. I don't have them on my website yet. I don't have any originals on my website at the moment, but I do plan on putting these on there. They're on paper, so they would need to be framed, preferably with a mat. And they're 11 by 14. They're pretty big. So you could get, a substantial piece of artwork for your wall out of these paintings. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that this idea of what we've been doing, or what I've been doing this month in my studio, is something that's helpful. And maybe if you like this format, you could let me know. If you have questions about anything about my membership, you can always leave a comment below and I will answer your questions. But I will leave a link, and hopefully this was something that will give you permission to slow down, to feel like you can breathe a little bit. You can take your time, and you will produce better artwork, in my opinion, when you allow yourself to think, to have ideas, and not pressure yourself to finish something all at one time in a hurry and make it look perfect. So I'll see you guys back here next time. Bye.